computer. All right, guys. So I'm so excited to share how we reach out to people with each and every one of you. We've really figured out a way to help the ball roll down the court. But first of all, I want to say the basics is getting people to take the free tour. That's the basics. If you have a better way that gets people to take the free tour, then use it. Here's what I'll tell you. Brittany and I have over a 50% conversion rate. So we've gotten pretty good at number one, getting people to take the free tour, but then also the people who do take the free tour, getting them becoming members. Our conversion rate is over 50%. If you know anything about the industry, then that's unheard of in this industry. If you have 10% conversion rate in this industry, that's pretty impressive. We have over a 50% conversion rate. We've currently brought on, I think, 105 personally. And so we're going to share with you exactly the steps of how and why, so you really understand that. But here's what I'll tell you. Company-wide, there's a 30% conversion rate. That's still unheard of. That means, tally up the numbers. A lot of those are people that are just randomly throwing their links at people. They're not doing the stuff that I'm going to teach right now. And so all we're teaching, it still works. Whether you're doing it crazy or you're doing it perfect, right? And you got the perfect way. In the end of the day, if you're doing it, that's what matters. So don't get hung up on well, I got to make sure. We're just giving this training so maybe you can help increase your conversion rate a little bit better. Maybe you can help increase the people who actually pre-enroll with you a little bit better, because verbiage and how you posture yourself really matters. So if you don't know, Brittany and I, we have a group called Life Changers. That group is a group for, it's really a network marketing group. We don't put company stuff in there, but it's a culture creator. That's what that group is ultimately about, okay? And letting people plug into a culture of something special, right? And so I share that with you. Also, if you're not plugged into the, which I hope everybody here is plugged into the LiveGood products testimonial group, be plugged into that, because that's a couple of the tools we use. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And literally what I say to pretty much everybody is this, but I'm going to explain why. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen here? I hope so. All right, good deal. I got a thumbs up from Miss Ola. So this is Mike. He actually just joined the team the other day, yesterday, day before. Anyway, this is how I started the conversation on Saturday. And this is the same conversation I start with everyone. This approach, and I'm going to share with you exactly why. But on Saturday, I sent him, hey, Mike, Britt and I partnered with a new, I use the word new intentionally because that's a trigger word that people are like, ooh, new. I want to know about this. I don't care if it's 10 years from now, I'm still going to say new. I'm still going to say new because that's a trigger word. Partnered with a new, and I don't say we started doing some weird thing. I say we partnered with, very intentionally. That's a strong stance. With a new company in the nutrition space, great products that are incredibly affordable. Notice I put that in caps. The reason I put that in caps is because that'll draw their eyes to it. I'm talking less, again, I put it in caps because that's one of the very special things about LiveGood. We beat everybody's prices. Then Walmart or Amazon pricing. Guess what? The ordinary person isn't comparing network marketing company prices when they're looking at stuff. The ordinary person is looking at Walmart or Amazon, right? So that when you speak that, you're speaking their language. Was wondering if you were open. I never say interested. I never say interested. I ask people if they're open because people do not want to say, oh, no, I'm closed. People don't want to respond no when you ask them if they're open because they're saying they're closed if they say no. So I always say open. I don't say, are you interested? I say, I was wondering if you were open to taking 5 minutes. I let them know it's only 5 minutes. So it's not much of their time. I let them know up front. It's only a 5-minute video. 5 minutes to check out a video that will give you a brief overview of what we're doing. Guys, look, that's what I send to literally everybody. I have that saved. If you don't have the app, if you have iPhone, you can have, and I believe we are recording. Aren't we recording?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, yeah, we're recording. Okay. So if you don't have, yeah, sorry, I just got distracted. If you don't have iPhone, there's an app called WordBoard. You probably can't see it, but it's called WordBoard. What it allows you to do is change a keyboard so you can literally type a paragraph into WordBoard, and then all I do, the thing I got to be careful about when I'm doing this is I got to not do it too fast, because they'll know I just hit tap and the whole paragraph went, right? So you can save this whole paragraph. And so it just makes it so much easier. Okay, so that's the first thing I say. If they say sure, which Mike said, the next thing I say to them is, and I'm going to explain why. Check out the 5-minute video at this link. And again, I say 5-minute video so they know it's short and sweet, because everybody's, busy. At this link, do the reserve your spot. I call it reserve your spot. And the reason I call it reserve your spot is because on the website, that's what it's called, reserve your spot. They don't know it's a pre-enrollment. When it sends the email, it tells us it's a pre-enrollment. But I say, do the reserve your spot, and I put it in quotes so it makes sense to them when they see reserve your spot thing. It's free, again, in caps. I'm letting them know, look, this is free. It's not going to cost you anything. It will allow you, and then I give them value, why they want to do that. It will allow you to look at all the products, ingredients, prices, and check out the pay plan in detail. So I'm telling them why, giving them value as to why they want to get pre-enrolled. Plus, you'll be able to see how it's growing, because they're going to be able to see the power line, and how the done for you system works. And what that is that follow-up emails that are happening that are done for us, right? We don't got to do the follow-up emails. So they'll be able to see how that works, right? So so I say that in there, and these things are all just little things I planted to allow them to see value quickly. Because again, it's all about creating value as quickly as possible so people see value in doing what you're asking them to do. And then I say it's incredible. After you submit your name and email address, the company will send you an email with a link to join now. That link, and I let them know that link will take you to a mini back office so that you can check out all the things I talked about above. And then I say this, and this is very important. After I get the email notification that you reserve your spot, we can dive into questions you will most likely have. I ain't answering no questions about nothing if they're not willing to give me their name and email address. If they don't value me enough to enter their name and email address, I didn't ask for their firstborn. I asked for their name and email address. If they don't value me enough to provide their name and email address and get pre-enrolled with me, then they're not going to value the answers to the questions they have, the answers I provide. They're not going to value anything. So if they're asking me a bunch of questions, check out the video, and after I get the notification, we can answer questions. I'm not answering product questions. I ain't answering no questions until they get pre-enrolled. When I get that notification, then we can talk. But other than that, I'm not doing any of that. They're not getting a comp plan video. Look, guys, the comp plan video is about to come out. Don't share that with people. The corporate comp plan video is fixing to come out in a couple of days. Don't share that with people that's not pre-enrolled with you. So they got to get pre-enrolled with you as quick as possible, and they have to have value to want to get pre-enrolled, and that's what this verbiage is creating. So then I saw that Mike hadn't seen it, or that Mike had seen my message on Tuesday, but he still didn't. I never got the pre-enrollment, so I asked him, simple, you check it out yet? Simple question. Hey, do you have time to check that out? That's my simple follow-up. I waited a couple of days. It was Saturday. I waited till Tuesday, follow up with him. And then all of a sudden, Tuesday night, after he saw that, I got a notification. He didn't even respond to me. I get a notification that he pre-enrolled. So I said, just got the notification that you pre-enrolled. And then I went to Facebook. I sent him an invite to the Life Changers group. And I sent him an invite to the LiveGood Products Testimonials group. The reason I do that is because I want them to see culture. I want them, Brittany and I put out 10-minute tips for across the board network marketing, but we give free value there. And we're actually going to be inviting some of you to do the same in that group, because I want them to see culture and support. All right, I got culture and support. And then in the products testimonial group, I want them in that group as well, because I want them, while they're scrolling through Facebook, to I would like to make that recipe of the coffee and the protein. That looks really yummy. If you guys haven't seen that recipe in the group, it does look awesome. Anyway, so I want them seeing that stuff in their Facebook newsfeed along with the company sending them follow-up emails, right? That way they're just becoming a warm market. So then I say, also wanted to share with you, this with you too, just so you have a good understanding of the why behind LiveGood. And I share the video. If you should have this video. If you don't, reach out, ask somebody, I'll give it to you. It's the video of Ben talking in the car. It was like a year ago when they made this video. Before LiveGood was even going, it was their plans for it. Ben and Nada are talking in their vehicles about why they're going to do this. And I really think it's important that people understand the why right from the get-go behind LiveGood, like what we're doing. Because when you see that video, you realize like you can't argue with that video. You can't be like, no, the products are elsewhere they're affordable. No, you start to say, no, they're overpriced. Yep, no, they're right. You can't argue with any of it, and it really creates a why, right, behind it. And so he said, I'm more than likely going to sign up, but definitely would like to schedule some time later this week to discuss. I said, absolutely. And then suddenly on Thursday, Thursday. Oh, this is a perfect one because him and I still hadn't talked. We didn't schedule a time. I just said, absolutely. Then Thursday morning, now this is perfect because Thursday morning, so anybody that I have pre-enrolled, so I get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I usually work on trying to get people pre-enrolled. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm kind of like, whatever happens, happens. Then Thursday morning, first thing Thursday morning, anybody who's pre-enrolled who hasn't become a member yet, this is what I sent to them. Good morning. Wanted to check in and see if you had any questions that I can get answered in reference to LiveGood. Tonight at midnight Central Time is cut off to be placed into the matrix. So I wanted to be sure that you don't miss out, right? FOMO, fear of missing out, right? They've been getting emails, guys. The company's been sending them emails. They've been in the Facebook group. They've been seeing the products for 3 days. For him, it was Tuesday, Wednesday that was already getting emails. So he was already seeing stuff in the Facebook group. So that was taking care of itself for me. I wasn't having to bug him. And so when I sent him this, I also said, this evening at 7 p.m. Central Time, cutoff call, and I sent him the link for the cutoff call. And so I do that with all my pre-enrollees on Thursday morning. Usually on Thursdays, I get multiple new members Thursday because guess what? That deadline's coming, right? And so multiple of the pre-enrollees end up upgrading, becoming members on Thursday. And so, but then I got the notification that he jumped on board, that he joined the team. So then the last thing I send them is, or I guess to get them started, not last thing, but last thing in the recruiting process, if you will, is welcome to the team. Here's a 7-minute quick launch video that will set you up for success right out of the gates. Guys, I created that video to keep it not confusing. So look, we're not trying to dump the truck on everybody. They don't need to know the whole comp plan. All they need to know, I want them to get their direct deposit set up. I want them, that way they're getting paid when it's time to get paid. I want them to know where their tour link is. That's the things they need to know in their back office. They don't need to know the whole comp plan and all the things. And I want them to know how to get to bronze. So that's the most important thing, because if they get to bronze, they're out of the red, they're in the black. They got their money back. So that video is short and sweet. In that, everything I've just talked about here, there's a launch document for them. There's also a link to those two groups. As well as a link to the YouTube channel. And I say in that video what the YouTube launch call, the cutoff call, and the Friday call, and then the product call. So that's it, guys. That's literally how we've kept the ball moving down the court, just one at a time. Look, we don't have like a lead system. We don't have any of that stuff, just one at a time. What we're doing behind the scenes. What you see on social media is what everybody sees, right? But what we're doing behind the scenes in conversations like this, I'm telling you, if you go through my conversations here, it is conversation after conversation, the same, like right here. Here's one. Look at that. There's one. I mean, the same kind. I don't want to give you guys all who but I don't want to put everybody out there in case they don't want to be out there, whatever. But yeah, it's the same exact conversation over and over. So with that, oh, go ahead.
One more, the follow-up.
Yep.
So after about a week or two, if somebody hasn't, they're going to continue to get the emails, but afterwards, if you're wanting a way to follow up, you can go in and take because you have the list of all your pre-enrollees, so you can see the email that they pre-enrolled with. So you can go to secureyourposition.com,
Secure my position,
or secure my securemyposition.com, type it in that email, and then it will pop up where they're, like their numbers or where they're placed in the matrix and all that stuff, and how many people have pre-enrolled with them. And then you can follow up with that and just say something like, hey, I was just checking in on this and I saw, and so it kind of gives that way of following up. Did you see it too? Are you checking your emails? That type of thing.
Yeah, because maybe they're not checking their emails. So you take the initiative, like say it's been a week or so, and you want to do another follow-up. Take the initiative, go to securemyposition.com, go to under my referrals in your back office, see who's there, take their email address, put it into securemyposition.com, check, go to my power line and see what their power line is, screenshot that sucker, send it to them and say, hey, I was just going through and I type it in. Hey, I was just going through securemyposition.com and I was checking what people's power line who have pre-enrolled with me, what their power line looks like. And this was yours. Just wanting to follow up with you and see if you had any questions, because now if they're missing the emails, guess what? You're sending it to them. And also if you type in, I was going to securemyposition.com, they now have the link where they can go in, they can enter their email address and they can look at that as well. So yes, thank you for that. So yeah, that's something that also has been a great follow-up as well. So the Thursday morning is a great follow-up, but then also if it goes on for a couple of days or a week or a couple of weeks, look, just because they didn't get placed into the matrix, they still are in the power line as a pre-enrollee. It's just all the members that became members, they got placed into the matrix. Now all the new pre-enrollees are still under them, right? So now if somebody else who was a pre-enrollee becomes a member that same week as they become a member, they're going to go in first, right? But they're still sitting in the power line as a pre-enrollee. So they're not out, they're still in there and there's still people coming on board. And it'll say, you missed out on, when you take that screenshot, it'll say you missed out on XYZ amount of people. Don't miss out on this. So that's something to share too. All right, is that all we got for this?
Yes.
All right, so that's what we got for this training. We're going to stop the recording now and we're going to go into some comp plan and some Q&A. But this training is going to be saved so people can share this. Again, Brittany and I, there might be a better way to get people to take the free tour, to get pre-enrolled with you and all that stuff. This is what Brittany and I are using and it's working very, very, very well. In the end of the day though, the basics are get people, share that free tour link, get people to take the free tour. That's it. However, if you're having an 80% conversion rate doing it in another way, that's fine. That's fine. Don't feel like, oh, I got to do it exactly their way. We're just giving this to you so you know how we're doing it and why, the whys behind it. If you need to change that up, just know that the basics is get people to take the free tour and get pre-enrolled, right? All right, so that's what we got. Let me hit stop here.